Hello everyone, this is the Ginger Snaps Near. My name is Steven, and today I'm going to be doing a follow-up video on the previous video I just uploaded where my roommate had done an unboxing. As we all know, it was a WWE Replica belt. This is the follow-up video, and for my review on the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, or the Big Gold Belt. It's not the WCW belt. It's WWE's version of the World Heavyweight title. So let me just explain here for a second. The WWE's version of this title debuted in September of 2002, where Eric Bischoff handed the belt to Triple H. Don't know why there was no fucking tournament or whatever the fuck. I don't even fucking know why. But the reason being was because at the end of WrestleMania 18, Triple H had won the Undisputed Championship, which, as we all know, was the WCW Championship and the WWF Championship. He was then given a singular belt, and that was the Undisputed Championship. That ended up going into the hands of Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, The Rock, and then eventually Brock Lesnar. But then that's when we had the official brand split, the very first brand split. So Raw was now without a champion because Brock Lesnar had signed an exclusive deal to just stay on SmackDown. So he decided, Bischoff, well, Raw needs a world champion. So I already have a belt. So now that's how that story came. Of course, Triple H, as we all know, had that reign of terror, where from 2002 to 2005, he was constantly the World Heavyweight Champion a lot. He would lose the belt once in a while, but he would always get it back, and a lot of fans got pissed off with it. Now, at the time, in 2002, they had the all-gold cast copy of the WCW title. They didn't make a WWE belt yet of this version until WrestleMania 19, which debuted the actual WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That was, to my prior knowledge from other photos I've seen, it's pretty much that belt. Maybe it debuted on Raw, or maybe it was the WrestleMania 19 conference or something like that. I don't really know exactly which day. Maybe someone can help me out on that. But ever since then, it was a 3D belt, which, sometimes the belts had flat plates, sometimes they had massive curves in them, sometimes they had different leather cuts, sometimes the thicker, shorter leather cuts. But subsequently, the belt always stayed the same until Dave Milliken made the belt, which had a nice nugget texturing to it, and the belt was fucking beautiful. And that one was like in, I want to say 2011 or 2012 or something like that. Of course, as we all know, the World Heavyweight Championship, when it was on Raw, it was pretty much the main title. The WWE title was kind of pushed to the side. Whereas once it hopped to SmackDown, it was kind of no longer the main title anymore. The WWE title ended up becoming the main title. But as we all know, this beautiful design is a very cherished one. A lot of people actually consider this belt to be their all-time favorite belt. Now, like I said, it's not the WCW Championship, or at the time someone had called it the NWA Championship because Ric Flair or whatever, but that's for a whole different fucking video. That's for a different fucking title. We're talking about the WWE's version. Like I said, debuted in September of 2002 and would last all the way until December 15th of 2013 when it was finally unified with the WWE Championship. Randy Orton had won it in a ladder match. After he was WWE Champion, he beat John Cena, who was the World Heavyweight Champion. So Randy Orton was the last champion to have this belt as its own separate title. But if you're going to talk about who was the actual last person to actually hold this belt, it was Brock Lesnar before the next night on Raw, a network logo belt was introduced. So just a rundown, a little bit of fucking history. We went from Triple H, who was handed the belt. He would then drop it to Shawn Michaels. And then, obviously subsequently win it back. Then he would drop it to Bill Goldberg, win it back. And then, of course, one of my favorite moments is when he dropped it to Chris Benoit. I know a lot of people out there don't really speak fondly of the fucking guy, but I'm from Edmonton. I still fucking love the guy. And every time I think of the World Heavyweight Championship, I think of Chris Benoit, who then dropped. He also then ended up dropping it to Randy Orton, then Triple H, and then it got vacated, and then Triple H won it again, and then Batista. There was a lot of wrestlers who, when I came back to watching wrestling, because I wasn't around for the invasion angle, which let's be honest here, it was shit. I wasn't around for that. We didn't have TV at the time, and we didn't watch, so I missed out from 2000, and I started picking back up on wrestling in 2002. So 2001, I didn't even get to fucking watch. But anywho, to run down the many people who have actually won this championship, we go from Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Goldberg, Chris Benoit, Randy Orton, Batista, Kurt Angle, fucking Rey Mysterio, King Booker, or Booker T, but King Booker. Then, of course, The Undertaker. Then we had Edge, Great Khali. Yeah, they slapped that belt on that guy. Then eventually, at some point, we had multiple other great wrestlers who actually won this championship. Like I said, for example, like Dolph Ziggler. Wasn't really one of the best, but let me get into that a little bit later on. We had Sheamus, Big Show, Daniel Bryan, Kane, so many other fucking great wrestlers. 25 people actually held this championship until its subsequent end. Of course, as a lot of people have known, like a lot of people were even thinking when WWE went for another brand split, will the World Heavyweight title, the big gold belt, make its debut? Will it make its return? And also we got the big red belt, the Universal title. So yeah, awesome. Fuck you, WWE. So anywho, just a rundown. Obviously, this is a replica from WWE shop. I'm not sponsoring them. I'm just a fucking customer. This is not my belt. This is my roommate's belt. So, just to run down, obviously it's a 3-plated belt. And you can obviously tell that when it comes to the design, it's not too bad, actually. I mean, like, you can do what you want. Like, some people I've seen online who have painted it to actually, like, go silver around where the old Crumb Rind belt used to be. And some people actually put gold or whatever like that. And of course, as you can tell, there is a nameplate. WWE Shop always supplies a nameplate. If you were to get a nameplate for yourself, like a custom one, I'm trying to hook my roommate up with a nameplate. Obviously, Wrestling Superstore, they obviously have like the best nameplates. I got mine, my nameplate, my only nameplate from there before. It was for my brother's Undisputed Championship. I got him the Eddie Guerrero nameplate, and he still loves it. He still kept the blank, but he's had the Eddie Guerrero on there this whole fucking time ever since. And I got it for him in 2018 or something like that. I want to say that. Anywho, obviously, as you can tell, this belt on my shoulders actually looks pretty nice. Not quite the flattest, obviously, as you can fucking tell. I did do a lot of work on this belt. I did put this strap in the hot water, the bucket trick, as we all probably fucking know. Putting me in a hot water tub. And for some odd reason, this strap likes to go back to being stiff. So when it comes to its flexibility, it's, still not the greatest. I'm trying to work on it some more. Obviously like that, it's not too bad. Holding it like this is where it becomes tricky because, of course, you can see right there, it's not quite all the way down. Then you go here, that's flapped down a lot better. Other than that, yeah, you can put it on this shoulder here. That actually is more feasibly, reasonable for myself on my shoulder or whatever. But my friend Chris, as you guys already know from the other video, he's a bigger guy. He's about 6 feet. I'm 5'9". I'm 5 foot fuck all. So, I did have one little problem with this. It's the replacement gems. The replacement gems only gave you 2. And when I first got the belt, one of the gems was not quite on there. Like, you can see right here, these gems I'm talking about, obviously, was not quite on there. And so I had to, pry it off and then, re-glue it on. But another one fell off, so I had to use one of the replacement ones. And yeah, now he has one left. So now it's pretty much like, oh, fuck, great. Let's hope you don't lose that one. And if you do, try and look on the ground or whatever for it. But obviously, you can tell, belt looks good on the shoulder. Hold it up like this. Not bad. The one thing I do like about this strap is the length of it. I mean, just the fact that you got this much length on the snap on one side and this much on the other. It's kind of evenly balanced. As you can tell, as we all know, this is on the WWE shop where they have the red croc backing. World Heavyweight title did have the red croc backing before it retired. But I do believe it was a darker red, not this quite bright red. But obviously, yeah, croc backing and whatnot. I always did find this odd. This one was always the odd part for me. You have all the screws, obviously, on the main plate. One there. But they don't have one there. They don't want to have one there. That was always this thing that just, for some odd fucking reason, just made no sense to me. So, obviously, as you can tell, on the shoulder, it looks pretty good. What about on the waist? Well, I'm glad to know that this belt actually was a 2mm thick plates. So, it was easily curvable. But when it comes to these snaps, they're not quite broken in yet. Like, you always have to hear a snap or whatever, but sometimes you don't really fucking hear it, but then I'll look and I'm like, oh, it's actually snapped in there. Turn it the fuck around, see what I mean? One of the snaps started unsnapping, so let's see how long it goes. But anyways, this is what it looks like around the waist. And obviously for the, big gold belt, it looks not too bad. Obviously, when it comes to this belt, you always kind of want to have a curve in it. Me personally, I love curves in my belts. But yeah, other than that, it looks nice. Obviously, it's really tight around my waist. But, just giving you a nice little turnaround here. It looks nice. When the belt did come out of the package, as you guys saw in the first video, it was very fucking flat. So, you guys can see it there. There's a little bit of a curve there. The side plates I have curved. And to the best of my ability. But, like I said, some of these belts, some of these replicas, they're not the greatest. Especially with WWE Shop. There's only 2, maybe 3 belts that are actually curved on that fucking shop. That's a replica. Well, actually, no. There's 4. The Oval IC has a bit of a curve on it. The Cruiserweight title has a beautiful fucking curve from what I've seen in photos. The Attitude Era Women's Championship, I believe, has a curve in it. And, of course, the Brahma Bull Rock Belt that just recently came out. Fuck, that's got a nice curve. But maybe finally WWE's going to come to their senses and have curved plates now. Maybe? I don't know. But other than that, what do I rank this? For a replica itself, if I have to go out of 10, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I mean, obviously, the straps, they're never the greatest. But other than that, where do I rank this belt in my list? The World Heavyweight title is obviously in my top 5. But if I had to say where it was going to go, it'd have to be number 3. It'd have to be. Would I ever want to get the WCW version of it? I would want to, but the fact that the main plate is actually 4mm and it's flat as fuck, I feel like I'm going to have such a bad time with that. And it's just like, well, it's inevitable. I can't make this belt curve or anything. I know the WCW title didn't have a curve that much. Like, especially the all gold Cax copy of it. Didn't have quite the curve on it. It was pretty fucking flat. But I digress. Like I said, my fucking roommate, he loves this belt. I love this belt. My brother loves this belt. We have certain wrestlers in our lives that have held this title that we fucking love. Me personally, if I had to say who is my favorite, who do I think of the most when I see this belt? I say Chris Benoit. And I also say The Undertaker. I also say Edge. held it the most times, 7 times. Kurt Angle and Randy Orton, obviously. Obviously, my friend Chris, same thing. Chris Benoit, Undertaker, my brother Justin, Chris Benoit, Undertaker, Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, so many people. I think we all can safely agree, though, Great Khali was the worst person to hold this title. Why put it on him when he can fucking wrestle? Oh, because he's tall? Good job, Vince. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me now. Hopefully you guys find this video, helpful. If you're interested in actually getting this big gold belt from the WWE shop, I do recommend it. It's not bad of a replica. There's a lot of other belt makers out there, like way too many, that can make better, big golds. And I've seen quite a bit, and I'm like, fuck, they actually look nice. But if you want to go cheap and you want to go for a replica from the WWE shop, this is a good one. It's really nice. Obviously, I don't have a commemorative of this. But I can imagine the commemorative is not too bad either. But now knowing that the strap is not quite the greatest, but on that note, with that strap being not so great, you can imagine what it would be like on a commemorative. That thing would barely fucking, it'd probably just be, flat as fuck and, can't fucking move or shit. And then if you had it on your shoulder, it'd probably pop out that much. Whatever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will try my hardest to get more videos up. I do have a weird thing going on with my work schedule where I'm off for a week and then work for a week. So I'm going to try and pump out as much videos as I possibly can. Probably some more fucking movie reviews, obviously. I do have a series that I'm planning to do, which will eventually come up soon. I'll let you know when. And yeah, it's pretty much, that's it for the video. So this has been the Ginger Snaps here. My name is Steven. I will actually check you guys out later. And I mean, not like a month from now. I'll make sure it's sooner than that. So I'll check you guys out later.